Hello, 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 Virgos. Virgos, my Virgos. You are my Virgos. Oh my gosh, I just had to take a break and get something to eat. I'm doing a marathon today because I'm behind, and I have to take a break every now and then to refuel my energies. Not just food, but also I get headaches if I do too much too fast because it's just a lot on my brain. So let's get going, Virgos. This is for December 28th through January 3rd. So I don't think I have any news. Oh, yes, I do. So because today's the 28th, today's not the 28th, today's 26th. I need something more to eat. I need sugar, I guess. The 29th, I am doing a full moon reading live, so you guys can come and pop in if you're around at 12 o'clock. Not 1 o'clock this time, but 12 o'clock. So that'll be done about the full moon and also about new energies for the new year on the 1st. But heads up, I haven't made the thumbnail yet, but I am going to be on New Year's Day around 10:30. That's going to be more like what kind of stories you want to hear. If you want to hear some hoo-hoo stories, do you want to have a reading, a pick a card? It's sort of an interactive time. Hopefully I will do a reading for that day, but it's mainly for you guys if you would like to know some of my stories or how I became an empath or how to know when you're becoming an empath. That kind of a thing. Just a fun kind of New Year's Day, not so much about teaching and coaching and cards, but it'll be that. But I will have the cards ready just in case somebody wants a really quick reading or pick a card kind of a thing. So that'll be on the 1st, probably at 10:30 in the morning. So I just haven't done the thumbnail, but I will be doing that this afternoon. So it'd just be a lot of fun. So come in, say hello, bring your friends, subscribe, and hit the bell. You'll know when I'm on in case I change times. Or watch the thumbnails anyway. Watch for the thumbnails, and that will tell you exactly what time I'll be on. It seems like everybody likes to be on earlier than later. And plus, everybody wants to go do something on New Year's Day, don't they? Right. So let's get going. This is the 28th through the 3rd. Now, remember, again, the moon is coming in full moon on the 29th. So this is the 26th. The energies are already changing. So the energies are already getting ready for that full moon on the 29th. And then the 29th, 30th, 31st, and the 1st. That's all new moon energies. Really new moon energies. And we had the grand conjunction on the 21st. So remember, that is still playing and huge. We're now in Aquarius. And no, we are not in the age of Aquarius. We are just in Aquarius. A lot of people think, oh, this is the age of Aquarius. It's driving astronomers and astrologers nuts because we're not. Because we don't even know when Pisces began. So there's no way we can implement when Aquarius begins. So let's get started. The first oracle is going to be for the energies for the week. Oh, that was me. That wasn't the divine. So I have these new cards. They're a little sticky, but I love them. My daughter gave them to me for Christmas this year, so I really like them. This is the artist there, Wisdom. The Wisdom of Oracle is Avalon. But I just love Colette Baron-Reid. I just love her work. So, all right, here we go. So first card out is the Earth Fairy, physical health, grounding, and foundations. This is going to be typical. Now, the, who did I just do last? I did Leo's, and they had a lot about grounding and foundations and things as well. And then we have death. So yes, definitely something that is getting ready to finalize the end of the year, the end of age of the Capricorn. We have a lot of things ending, a lot of things beginning. The universe doesn't really care about, 2021, 22, 23. They just know about the energies and frequencies on how things move and how the frequencies are high, how the frequencies are low. So it's more of an earthly thing. So we want to really focus in on our physical health and grounding and the foundations. However, that's not where it begins. our physical health does not begin at physical health. It has to begin at a mindset and a process. And we have to change that process in order to get a healthier lifestyle. Having a background in nutrition and fitness, this is sort of my forte. So the thing is that we have to know that it's all about the mindset. Now, what I did learn in fitness and nutrition is that through all the bodybuilding and stuff that I did, that when I started at 215 pounds and a year later at 136 on stage in a little bikini on a bodybuilding stage, what I did learn throughout that whole process and beyond in learning my degree and all that kind of stuff is it did not start with the body. It starts with the mindset. It starts with the spirit and where you are broken. Because what I learned, and then I went on to manage gyms. I wrote a book. Published a book, things like that. I learned that with women, especially, this is a psychological thing. And a lot of it is due from trauma or abuse or anything of that nature. So when you're taking care of your body, you have to take care of your mind first and your spirit first. All right. So interestingly enough, we have Virgo's Empress is our first card out. Nurturing, loving, taking care of ourselves, right? And then we have the Eight of Cups. So something's missing. So yes, there is something missing. And the thing that is missing is the foundation. So what's missing in the foundation and what does need to have to be brought to light in anything that we do with our physical changes or our mental changes or any type of transformation, we have to look at where it started. I hate to do that, but that's where it has to be because we have to close that door so that that door can be put away and those thoughts, broken thoughts of keeping us stuck have to be put away and then we can grow new thought processes and new changes. But something is missing. So what is that for you? What is that is going to change your trajectory of which way you're going to go? So that's why this at this time is, I find this very interesting because I can't make this up. You saw me shuffling, you saw me make things happen. But the thing is that the divine brings these cards out or has somebody bring these cards out in this manner. And it's the end of the year. How interesting is that? Nothing is coincident. It's interesting because for the fact is most people want to start making resolutions and things that they are not going to keep themselves. That's the problem is we don't keep promises to ourselves. So how can we keep a promise to somebody else? That's part of a trauma type thinking process. Thing that is missing is how to fix that, how to change that cog to turn the other way so that you can actually make things happen. Because it can change your world. It will change your world. And this isn't a good way. But you have to be able to love yourself enough to want to change that. Because a lot of the foundation for anything to do with our health or our grounding is just based from childhood. That's why when I talk about Get Balanced 2020, I ask people, are you living your dream or are you living your parents' dream? Are you living what you want to live or are you living what your parents want you to live? Are you believing in spirit the way that you want to live or are you believing in spirit the way your parents and generations did? And if you're living that way, are you at least questioning anything? And are you being allowed to question and try to understand even better, that kind of a thing. So is it your journey that you're living or is it somebody else's? And it took me over 50 years to figure mine out, I mean, I knew I was living partly mine, but I wasn't sharing my gifts or anything with anyone at all. At all. And because I just was afraid that if I did that, I wouldn't fit in. Somebody'd laugh at me. Somebody call me crazy. I don't care anymore. Call me crazy, whatever. I know me. The divine knows me and he blessed me with the abilities. So go ahead. Rock my world. Too many cards, but we'll go with it. All right. Wow. They gave me a ton. Let me go this way. I got to put them the way they fall. All right. So, oops. A lot of wands, a lot of self-talk, a lot of listening. You're listening to the negative thoughts, though you're listening to, you're not listening to what is actually being told. And so if somebody says you're beautiful, you're like, yeah, whatever, I'm not beautiful. That's where this inner turmoil comes from, this inner struggle comes from, because it's very unstable. It's sort of a broken way of thinking. It's not bad. It's just the way that we grow up. That's just the way it is. There is something that you're really curious about, though. Something very curious, and you're sort of ready to what do you call that? Try that avenue, give it a chance, kind of a thing. And again, we do have the death card. So something is going to give way for your foundation. This is a rebuilding of a new foundation, a new time, a new lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle, and rebuilding that foundation, taking that foundation off of the sand where it can fall apart and be that kind of a thing, and actually removing it and putting it onto like a nice, firm, solid piece of ground. That's where we're going to start from. That's where this tower is coming in, where it's going to fall down, and we're going to rebuild. Yeah. And somebody here is ready to do it, but somebody's got to fight somebody about it because they don't believe in them. Now, let me tell you, this person that you're having to stand up against is probably somebody really close to you, because they've seen you go through things before and it hasn't worked. But now you're really determined. For somebody is really, really determined to change this whole thing around, and you're ready to go. And somebody's like, yeah, right. Been there. And you know who it was for me? My mother. Yes. I love my mother to pieces, but you know what? It was a sabotage. And the closest people will sabotage if they do not support you. And if you listen to people, you'll know if they're being truly and honest about their feelings. So like my mom would say, oh yeah, you can do it. But I could feel the fakeness through it. I could feel the non-support through it. I could feel like, yeah, bend this road, you'll do it again. So what happened is I had this beautiful opportunity, just like you guys are having, the Ace of Pentacles, to go through that little gate there, to make a new opportunity and offering to grow. This might even have for your future, could be for whatever you're going through for your future. This is the only pentacle right now on the board, but this is here, you have this offering. So sometimes you have to sort of push the other people that don't have your back aside. I called it in my book here, I called it divorcing my parents, but divorcing my friends, because I had to. Otherwise, I was going to be sabotaged all the way through. And guess what? 1 year later, I was on a bodybuilding stage. I made my commitment to myself. I did it. I love myself enough to finish it. And beyond that, I went and got a degree, became a published author, on and on and on and on. And then you can see the divine putting all the dots together. And I won't go into it now, but if you would love to know about my story on the 1st, I would be glad to tell it to you. But I'm not going to go into it all right now because it'd bore everybody. Well, although my daughter says, you got to write more. You got to write more. So I'm writing another book. But the thing is that this is, you can do this. You're just going to have to set your boundaries again for your physical health. Somebody might even be so overweight that it's really causing a lot of health concerns, serious health concerns. So this is something to really look at. Where are you at? Or are you too thin? Are you bulimic? Are you anorexic? Some of those kind of things really need a professional to help you get through those, help you to get into a program that works for you, that kind of a thing. Because we don't think about that, being on the other end. We mostly think about being on this end, right? So this is going to really change, and it's going to have to be a decision within you for sure. You are literally going to have to talk to yourself and be truthful about unbiased to yourself, and your self-examination is going to have to be honest. This is not one that you can just sit there and like, oh yeah, thinking that, oh yeah, well, I'll say this and, it's not going to matter because nobody's really going to pay attention anyway. This is to yourself. This is where the King of Swords is looking for truth, serious truth. Excuse me. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. The opportunity is yours. And it's how you're going to make it. The Seven of Cups. How are you going to change this? This is huge. This is going to change your life completely around. Again, the Seven of Swords, if you look at, or the Seven of Cups, excuse me, if you look through it, there's a lot of cups and a lot of opportunities. There's going to be a lot of temptations, a lot of things that are going to try to deter yourself away. This is where perseverance and resilience comes in, and this is where drive and focus comes in for the Virgos. This is where you really hone in and say, no, I'm going to do this. You put your blinders on and you go. Take that racehorse and you run it, the race, because it is a lot of work. And you need every single person on your side. If they're not, time to step them back for a while. You definitely have to step them back for a while. Because there's a couple of people in my life while I was doing that I didn't ask to come back in my life. Because once you become to get more knowing of yourself and more strong and confident in yourself and building a new foundation in yourself, then you are actually going to become so strong and so confident and so you'll get your self-value, your self-worth, and you won't want those people back. Say thank you, but no thank you. In that sense, thank you, but no thank you. I don't need that toxicity anymore. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Seeking truth. You got to know your own truth. Power couple. King and Queen of Swords. All about truth. Seeking out truth. Where is your foundation? What is your foundation? What is your true foundation? Or is it your parents' foundation? Is it your elders' foundation? Or are you doing it for your husband? Are you doing it for your wife? Whose foundation is it? Are you walking your journey? Or are you walking somebody else's journey? This is huge. This is all about self-examination right now. And that self-examination for the new year from the 28th to the 3rd is building a new foundation. And the old foundation needs to be put to rest. That old foundation, the broken foundation that's been holding you back, it's time to crumble it, build this new foundation. I don't know who that's for. And it is going to be work. There is going to be temptations. And you have to build that strength and courage. That's why you have to have some type of support system with you. If you don't have I had a personal trainer, and what's really funny is when I first started bodybuilding, I was 215 pounds of fat. I think of fat very differently. Not like everybody's like, oh my gosh, she's saying that in a bad word. It's not a bad word. We all need fat. However, my confidence was low. My self-worth was low. My self-esteem was low. And one of the first things he said, well, what do you want? What's your goal? So you need to set a goal. And then you have to have the steps to get there. And you have to have somebody that will lift you up when you're down, keep you going when you're strong. But the thing is that what was really funny was I was at 215 pounds, this little shy thing, wearing a big sweatshirt or big t-shirt with, big soccer shorts so nobody could see me. And I said, well, I don't know. I just want to lose weight. And he's like, no, you got to have a goal. What is your goal? And I said, well, don't laugh, but I always admired the bodybuilders, their lifestyle. They eat healthy and they get big. I love big muscles. I love to be big. I'd love to compete one day. And he goes like, okay. And we'll shoot for that. And I really, because of my size and stuff at the time, I really expected him to laugh and say, yeah, right. No, he didn't. So we worked hard. We worked our buns off. And I went from 215 pounds down to 154 pounds, I think, in 5.5 months. And I started noticing the changes, but I also noticed mentally things changing about me as well. And I noticed how people were acting towards me a little bit differently because I was thinning down. And then as I got to 140 pounds, or about 154 pounds, he says, okay, this was about 6 month mark. And he said, okay, now what's our next goal? I said, what do you mean? He goes, you need to pick a bodybuilding competition in 6 months. I said, are you flipping your mind? Are you crazy? No. I said, I am not going to do that. He said, 6 months, pick a competition or I will, and you're going to be in on it. And I said, yeah, no way. So next training I went to, he says, you pick a competition? I said, no, are you kidding me? He said, okay, then you're going to be in the Pacific Coast. And I said, excuse me? He goes, you're going to be in the Pacific Coast. And this is our goal. And he said, basically, if you go in it and you do it because you are going to do it, then I will be in it with you to help support you. 6 months later, I was stepping on stage and he had never, ever seen me, never, without my big t-shirt and my soccer shorts. Even to do my posing, to practice my choreography, to do all that kind of stuff, he never, ever saw me until I had to strip down on stage and weigh in at 136. And he's like, your legs are gonna blow them away. And I could go on for longer. But my point is, your foundation is where you need to start. You need to start with you. You have to have goals. You have to have baby steps. You have to make this foundation strong. Hi, Grace. Welcome, welcome. So this is something that you have to do for yourself. It doesn't matter if you need to lose weight. It doesn't matter if you have to gain weight. It doesn't matter if it's about your physical, if it's about your mental. It's about growing your self-esteem, your self-confidence. This Virgos is what you're about. But the main thing that it's about is that you have to be speaking truth to yourself. You have to stop lying to yourself because it doesn't work in 2021. It's time to just renew your foundation and believe in yourself. All right. Oh, wow. Tell the story and then the time flies. But we're going to keep going for a few minutes here. I'd love to know where you guys are from. Say hello. Love to hear your comments and your feedback and all that kind of stuff. I love it, love it. So we have the somebody's depressed. 4 of Cups. Somebody's struggling about it. Somebody's not stable. But here's the thing about the number 4 in numerology. It's to become stable. New Jersey, welcome, welcome. So I'm in Oregon, by the way, if nobody knows. I'm way over on the West Coast. But somebody is not happy about it. Somebody's a little bit depressed about whatever they're going through, whatever they're having to change in their life. They don't know how to start it, don't know how to make it happen. Maybe they don't have the resources. It doesn't take money. It doesn't take money. There's a lot of free videos on Get Balanced 2020, how to make this happen for you. I'm always available via internet, via email, via my website, whatever. You can ask me questions for free and I'd be glad to help. All right. So this is free. This is what God and the divine has asked me to do to be the conduit for you. This is what he's been training me all these years to help you. Anybody. So, and that's why I'm a coach. So let's see what else we got going. I'd like to see if there's some love in here, divine. Is there any love for the Virgos? My gosh, I haven't seen any. Have you? I would love to see some love. All right. Oh, my goodness. We got the Kraken. Yeah, something's hidden. Okay, he's working behind the scenes is what I'm hearing. So, hot flash. Let me tell you, hot flashes suck. I'm so much older than most of you guys. Okay, so we have the moon. I love the Kraken. I love the Pirates of the Caribbean. So we have the moon. Now the moon means there are things hidden, things you can't see. So the divine is unseen. So he's working on you. He's working on things behind the scene. Could be with love as well. Could be meeting. Maybe he's trying to get you also too to get a good sound foundation before he throws somebody at you. Because if we don't have a good sound foundation, especially when we're bringing somebody in, then what happens is we ruin that chance with that new person, even if it was the person we were meant to be with, because we aren't sounding our foundation right there. So he could be working on that because there's death here. He's working on something, finishing something, and something new is going to come because he's rocking the world. He's transforming. That little cocoon, that butterfly is getting ready to come out and fly, because we got the 5 of Cups. And 5 is a little bit unstable, but the 5 of Cups, yeah, I still think he is working towards that. Somebody's coming forward, but it's not ready yet because you're not ready. And here's where you're not ready, Virgos, because you get distracted too much. It's like, if you're a Virgo like me, then I sit there and I think, and I'm focused, but then I think of, oh, this good thought over here. It's like, oh, that. And then I come back to this focus like, oh, yeah, and then there's something over here. Oh, yeah. And then I'm multitasking in my brain. But that's not what the divine says. You've got it. This is the time to stay focused. This is this time to put this old foundation to rest and build a new foundation. Yeah, well, you know what? You're a Virgo. We all overthink it too much. Or we multitask too many things in our brain. Do you know that when we do that, though, we are killing our telomeres and they don't grow back? So it's better for us not to do that. However, being an entrepreneur and a business owner, I got so many ideas. Do you know that I have a leather business going right? Virgo to Virgo. I've got a leather business. I do this, and I do it almost 4 times a week. And then I'm a part-time travel agent. And what else do I have going? I've got one other thing going. So I get a lot of things. But this is Virgo. But this is not the time to do this. This is the time to self-reflect. What is it that you need to put to rest to unbreak your foundation so that you can put that foundation from sand onto solid ground? Because that's what you need. And what is it that you're not being honest about, that you have to be honest about to yourself? What is it that you've been faking it until you make it? What is it that you're being somebody else's journey and not yours? If you were like me, I was being somebody else's journey by not allowing myself to show my abilities where the divine wanted me to. That was my foundation. That was the foundation. And it got to be so loud. He was bombarding me every day that I could not focus in on that, because he was putting everything in my face to say, this, I'm waking you for this. I'm wakening you for your hearing. I'm wakening you for your sensories of feeling energies. I'm waking you for here. Pushing all these things. I had to say, okay. That's how bad it got. And I was like, okay. It's like when I could go into a story. Have me go into the story about the shoplifter on the 1st, when I'm online on the 1st. I'll tell you about the shoplifters that I caught through the divine. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's how it all started. Anyway, this is not a time to be off. It's time to focus. What is that my foundation's broken on? You know, that crack. You got to seal that crack and build that foundation back together. Make it strong. Okay, yeah, we have swords again, the 8 of swords. 8 of swords. We have the 7 of swords. Lots of swords. Truth. What is your truth? What is your truth? So he's saying if there is love, again, he's shown the moon. There is something coming. However, you're going to have to figure out what it is that's hidden, or what it is that's you've got to repair. So if you're bringing old stuff into the new year, like okay, thank you. So they're saying if you compare an ex or an old boyfriend or an old relationship, if you're trying to compare somebody to a new person, this is where you need to find the truth and heal that and bury it, get it done, bury it, heal from it, do whatever you need to do, bury it, put some flowers on it and leave the flowers. Don't put a tent there, because right now somebody's leaving a tent there and they're taking that tent and the whole burial thing with them, rather than just put flowers and move on. For somebody, it is so hard to move on. And that's why death has shown up twice. And that's why the world has shown up again. It is so hard for somebody to move on from something, but you're holding yourself back. You're sabotaging yourself, just like my mom and the people around me sabotaging myself. And I could have sabotaged myself if it wasn't for my bodybuilding trainer believing in me more than I believed in myself. But the thing is, if you sabotage yourself or you allow people around you to sabotage, you'll never be given the reward of whatever the divine has for you. He's got things coming towards you, but you're not quite ready. What is it that you need to change or grow in a relationship or for yourself? Ask yourself the questions, because they're there. You have the answers. You know it. And you know why you know it? Because it's in your intuition. You're like, I'm probably too stubborn. And so that is my work. That's my homework. Every time I go to be stubborn, I have to hold myself back and say, am I being stubborn for myself, or is this really need to happen? Those kind of things. I know where my shadow work is, but you yourself know your shadow work. So where is it? Because you want the divine to take this from the moon and bring it to the sun and expose it. I want him. I want her to come forward. That kind of a thing. All right. Wow. Okay. So just know that what you're doing this week is you're self-examining, trying to end whatever it is that's holding you back, to rebuild a new foundation. That is the main thing. Something has to die. We say die to ourselves every day. Sometimes die to ourselves every minute. And that might be a concept that many of you aren't aware of, which is okay. You could always ask me about that in an email. But the thing is that something has to be put to rest. And what is it that you want to rebuild in 2021? That's the new energy coming forward. That's the Aquarian energy. And the Capricorn energy has been holding you back. That Capricorn energy up until the 21st has been making you stagnant. It's like, no, you're not moving forward. I'm going to hold you back. There's no way. But when the 21st hit and that Aquarian energy, it's now like, okay, it's time to go. It's time to move. Let's go. Time to learn. Time to grow. And that's what's happening right here. All right. Hopefully this helped somebody. This resonated. It should resonate with several people, but being a Virgo, I know what it's like. I know what it's like, totally what it's like. But if you ever have any questions, let's see, let me answer Grace's. Well, you can feel others' energies. Yes, I can. In fact, sometimes, just for your information, when I first started feeling energies, and again, on the first, if you were able to come on the first, oh, great. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. But if you come on the first, I'd be glad to share that story. But that's how I actually started catching shoplifters, is feeling their energies. I wasn't quite sure what was going on. Like I said, being an empath and having abilities way back, I was afraid to say anything to anybody. But then I also knew energies of people when they were getting ready to pass away. And that was really sort of scary. And for a while there, I thought I was going crazy. And I did go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and they couldn't help me. She gave me all kinds of tests, and she scared the crap out of me. And that's another story. But the thing is that when that happened, I thought my girlfriend said, oh, well, they gave you a schizophrenia test. And I'm like, a what? what is that? And because I hear, and so she says, and I had a baby. I had a few-month-old baby at that time, and so she said that she goes, yeah, they gave you, they're going to take your baby away. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going nuts. I went to that psychiatrist's office next to get my results back, and I was like this to the chair. I was so afraid. I left my daughter at home because I was afraid they would take her away. And I sat there in the chair and scared. And she said, I'm sorry, I've never in my 35 years of practice has ever said this to anybody, but your test came out normal. And I'm like, okay. Whew. She says, but I can't help you. I said, what do you mean you can't help me? I need help. I'm hearing things and weird things are going on. And she said, no, you need somebody more of a paranormal psychic or something. I can't help you. And she goes, I've never referred to anybody like that. So that was the beginning of being awoken as an adult. But I've had abilities all since I was a little child, but I really poo-pooed them and shoved them because nobody wants, your parents don't want you talking about them because then you're going to feel you're nuts. So that's how it all started. So, and I'd be glad to go into more of that on the first when we sit there and have story time, or, we do pick a card and all that kind of stuff just to get to know each other a little bit better. And if you have questions about being an empath or my abilities or my paranormal activities that we've had and poltergeists and all that kind of stuff. So I'd be glad to do that. Oh, that's great. Yeah. You know what? Everybody has spiritual abilities. Everybody single does, especially intuition. That's the number one that everybody is gifted with. And the thing is, when we are gifted with it and we poo-poo it and we ignore it, or we say, or go against our gut feeling with it, then what happens is we begin to lose that ability because we're saying that we don't want it, we don't honor it, we don't. And then we begin to shut down our chakras. And so then your eye chakra and your crown chakra sort of begin to become dull to the point where it's almost like you get a cataract over it and then you can't see anything. So yeah, so definitely I would love to see you guys. It's probably going to be 10:30 in the morning. I don't know, New Jersey, that would be 10:30, 11:30, 12, what about 1:30? I'm going to try to sleep in a little bit. And like I said, I have a leather shop online, theleatherladyllc.com. And so I've got a lot of work to do with that. But hopefully 10:30. And then on the 29th, it's going to be 12:30. But that's just the full moon kind of an energy kind of thing. So I hope whoever is on that you enjoyed this and something resonated and that you enjoyed my story. But yeah. Yes, if you're starting to awaken, if you ever have any questions, that's anybody that's on right now listening. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me or place a comment or check my Facebook group out under Divine Warrior Intuitive. But I am here to be for you. I'm the conduit for the divine. This isn't for me. This is for you guys. So I really, really enjoyed you guys. Thank you, Grace, for popping in and subscribing. For those, if you haven't subscribed, I do dailies. And those are 1 minute, Monday through Thursday. And I pop those on about 3:30 in the morning, foreign. So you can go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell, and those will be on also. And then you'll see spiritual, I think it's how to grow your spiritual on my YouTube channel, how to grow your empath, how to help you with your abilities there. But Get Balanced 2020 is about the mind, how to transform, how to break bad habits, how to build good foundations, how to understand your spirituality, how to put nutrition and fitness together, a lot about nutrition, any questions like that. So don't ever hesitate to email me. I'd be glad to answer. If it's something that I feel like we need a coaching session, I'll let you know, but most everything's free. All right. All right, guys, I don't want to keep everybody. Hey, Star, welcome back. Hey, I got your message, and I will respond. I will respond to you, definitely. All right, and yeah, any of those abilities, I'd be glad to help you with them. I belong to some empath groups on Facebook. If you go under Facebook, under Divine Warrior Intuitive or Patti Hall, I think it's under Patti Hall Swank. I used to live in Japan, and that's the only way people can find me through my old last name is Swank. So if you look under those, join my group, ask questions, or just message me. go on my website, send me an email, and message me privately, and then I would be glad to talk to you guys. All right? Take care. Now, thank you so much. I want to just say I have done this with all the signs. Thank you so very much for supporting my channel. I've been only doing this for 6 months. I thank you for supporting. I thank you for doing that. I've really come out of my shell in the last 6 months. The divine is doing a ton of work on me. This is not me. I don't normally go in front of videos or cameras, or don't even like my picture taken. So this is all the divine. And I just thank you guys for the support and for sharing when you share. And I love that you love what I'm doing. Please don't hesitate to give me feedback. I just need to know what you guys want or looking forward to. I don't just do love readings, only because if the divine doesn't have that in your cards, I can't just sit there and do a love reading. I just can't. So I don't think that's fair to you, because that's saying that, oh, love is going to come your way when that's not what he has planned for your week. So I don't do that, not like most, because I'm intuitive. I am not a psychic. I am spiritually connected. That's it. All right. So I thank you so much for this year so far. And we're going to see you on the 1st, I hope. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And please, please, whatever you do, New Year's Eve, be safe. Don't do anything that you might cause any harm to yourself or expose yourself to COVID. My girlfriend's friend just passed away from COVID. It's real. It's real. So please, please, please be careful out there. All right. I love you guys. Virgos, you're my favorite because I'm a Virgo. Shh, don't tell everybody. Okay. Talk to you soon.